Hey, it's just so Trish. And it's Wellness Wednesday. Alright, so seriously, this is not a flattering hairdo, don't you think? Can you not see how round my face is now? Here we go. Alright. I'm trying to do something with it. It's just, it doesn't stand up right, but then it stands up like this, and then it just looks so weird. I gotta find a ball cap. So I thought I would get smart and I'd put like the wide one. I bought the wide one today. I did. You have to go through this before I get to me doing Trim Healthy Mama. So it's doing like this, and then it's like, it just creates a cone looking thing. I look like I belong to the Coneheads. Remember those movies? Like, look. And then like I went today and I like went to the bathroom to realize it was this. This was what it looked like. I was like, really? So you gotta like, I'm doing the video like this and I don't care. All right. My kid thinks it's funny. So I am going back on Trim Healthy Mama. Not right now. This week I'm just taking it easy. I'm not pushing anything on myself. Trying to be reasonable, but at the same time not really depriving. But it's been about a year and I want to kind of go into Trim Healthy Mama as like a kickstart, as like it's new. And I want to go in planned and prepared. Yeah. So I did dig out my books. I did do the books. I'll put a link if you don't own these books. So I had this on loan. I had to go borrow it. Not borrow it. I had to go get it back. And I kind of went back through. I went through a lot of like what S meals are, what E meals are, what are field polls. And actually I learned something that is going to be very helpful from here on out. Very helpful. And I'm going to tell you that in just a minute. And so I went back and I went through and really spent some time doing this. I know, I feel like done. And I need to make menus. My favorite part about using this cookbook is the fact that all the meals are set up for a family of 6 or 8. This is so nice. And I have a lot that I love. I have it all tabbed. I'll even put a link to these little tiny tabs. These are my favorite tabs. You're gonna see I used them again. So I did all of the single skillet, the single soup, single salad, single muffin, single cakes up at the top. So for a quick grab. But then I did all of like the main sections by colors. So, you know, you have that first section and all the way in. But this helps me, for me, finding my stuff. But I kind of think this is genius. I did this before, so I went kind of back through and refreshed myself. Some of the things this round I'm not going to get myself caught up in. Let's just not pretend I'm tired. Is the sprouted grain. Whole grain is preferred. Yeah, I got that. But I'm not going to chase weird stuff down. And if it means that that's what I'm doing at 80%, then that's what I'm doing at 80%. So I was at Dollar General and I picked up one of these like little note card things because I'm kind of invoking like trying not to have to think so much. It's just a cheap little one. It has like this really cute cover. So I put a micro sweetener conversion. I'm going to do a video, Carrie. I really am going to do a video on sweeteners. It is in the making soon because she asks me all the time. I'm going to make that video. And what I did is I have this in several parts. So the whole idea is not to have to think. So this is kind of a Trim Healthy Mama kickoff version of how I'm meal planning, but not really. This is kind of, sort of. So the first thing I did was I kind of just grabbed my notes from just the numbers. And I grabbed the page, I pulled it off the plan book to really let me be mindful. And this is, I learned something. I mean, I did this last year and I learned something this year. One of my biggest downfalls in doing Trim Healthy Mama is me turning it into a low carb running away from carbs because I'm a fuel hoarder. So I'll be like, don't mess with that. It's going to be good. I can't do that. If I want to be successful, I need to remember to eat my e-meals. And all I got to do is really think about any of my Weight Watcher meals under 10 points will kind of throw me into an e-meal very, very easily. With that thought, I'm like, I just need to focus on making sure I'm eating my e-meals. So I just took some basic notes, and I'm going to tell you crossovers. I want to talk about crossovers. So, your S meals, they have to be under 10 carbs. Under 10 carbs and really unlimited fat. So it's like a low carb meal. Your e-meals are under 45 carbs, but only up to 5 grams of fat. So like 1 teaspoon. Because I'm a by the numbers person. If I understand the numbers, I understand it. And that's what puts you in an e-meal. So 5 grams of fat is like a teaspoon. So that's like having a sweet potato with a teaspoon of butter. I've never eaten that when I did Trim Healthy Mama, but that's a great thing to eat. And then a fuel pull is when you have it under 10 grams of carbs and under 5 grams of fat, and it's typically 300 calories, which could be like a low fat, low carb 9. That would be maybe a 10 point. Again, I think that would be a 10 point. I don't know. That would be like a 9 point, maybe a 9 point Weight Watcher meal with low fat, low carb. If I think about it that way, I gotta think about it. I'm like trying to merge the two in my thinking. One of the things I failed at, and I never bothered to look into or really do, are crossovers. And I had to go find the numbers on the crossover. It's not like easy to find. You have to find it in the crossover section of the plan. But essentially, you stick to an e-meal carb, which is 45 carbs or less, but all the fat you want. That's actually really good. And I know from reading, people lose weight in crossovers. I mean, having a crossover every day would be like not a big deal. So I learned about crossovers today, this week, as I'm preparing to do going back into Trim Healthy Mama. My plan is to start Monday-ish. Me and my husband are working out on some agreements. He's supposed to start grocery shopping. I just have to make the master list so my husband can grocery shop. And I'm just asking him really and truly to buy the bulk at Aldi's and buy the bulk at Sam's and go and grab a few things at Wally World. We're going to see how this goes. I think we could do something here and it could be good. All right, so that's just the numbers, but I wanted that really quickly so I can have it. So I can carry this around. Not that I'm food journaling in here by any means, no. Then I made a list of like the superfood, affordable superfoods. I might put notes in here later like why they're important to remind me for things I don't want to buy. And then I wrote a list of the specialty food stars, like your MCT oil, your gelatin. Oh, he's having a fit. All right, I haven't filled this out, but I gave myself a spot. So I have like my staples I buy at Aldi's. So I'm going to make a list of things I need to get at Aldi's that help me stay on plan. I have one for Walmart. I have one. Boys. They're arguing. Sam's Club and then everywhere else. So I've done that. And then I also am keeping a tab of all my favorite websites. So if you haven't gone to Gwen's Nest or Brianna Thomas, you need to go there. It's not Brianna. I don't know. She says it's said wrong all the time. Go there. There it is again. Great resources. She's come out with a cookbook. It's on my list. Y'all keep watching videos. If I get paid enough by YouTube, I'm going to buy the book. So then I'm making a list. I'm not that far yet. This is in the process. I'm making a list of all the variations of Good Girl Moonshine. Because here lately, I've gotten really liberal in making them, and then they don't even taste good. Not like when I was making them. I mean, I was chugging like a gallon. All right. So then I've kind of left some blank pages here, and then I went into breakfast. So I first started by putting it. So this is kind of the menu idea planning thinking that Andrea Mills did. So I just wrote down like this would be a meal for the day. So then when I'm menu planning, I can come here and look at full meals. Like I might want to do French toast, have natural peanut butter, sugar-free, syrup, and a bulletproof coffee. That's an S. So I've just been listing out. And then when I put this here, it means I've got this printed out in a binder is where it's from. So I have a bunch of, I even put in like my egg white Mexican skillet that I do. And to remind myself, that I can do a field pull coffee with just 1 teaspoon of sugar-free creamer because I'm still within that fat range, and that's an E. So if you don't know, the deal with Trim Healthy Mama is either you eat an E meal that has your carbs as your fuel and fat is not, or you eat your S meal where your fat is your fuel but your carbs are not, every 3 hours. And then you can have a fuel pull that is like not fueling you with, no, I'm having a hard time talking. I've been so tired. Look, it's moving up. Without fueling you, but giving yourself protein. And you always eat protein. And you eat about every 3 to 4 hours is what you do. And this is that Mexican skillet I did. So I'm trying to make sure I'm in the right fuels. And I know what I'm pairing things with. And then I wrote some other ones. This is where I started going, oh wait, here's some ideas. So all I'm doing is making ideas for menus. I'm not exactly menu planning. I'm not really fully there. But to be prepared, I want to make sure that I'm doing it. So these are lunches that I've come up with. Like I might do pizza in a bowl. I found that on mymontanakitchen.com, and that's an S. And I could have a salad with it. And remember, I'm already eating fat, so I can have salad with cheese and tomatoes and cucumbers and dressing. Actually, I like mine with cottage cheese and bacon and the salad dressing that has fat but no carbs. Yum. I could do a tomato soup with grated cheese. And see, when I put THM 112, page 112, that's just telling me where to find it in the cookbook. And I've just been sitting there thinking and going through and finding really good like recipes and making sure I'm like making recipes that are really easy. Like I can do, see there's my sweet potato, and I could do it with a pouch of like salmon, and I could do it with cucumbers and vinegar, like planning out a full meal and be ready to go. And I'm doing that also with dinners, right? And having ideas for dinners. So just not to have to think so much. I'm also making a list of different snacks to do. So I'm using this to help me meal plan for Trim Healthy Mama. The other thing I did was I'm building a recipe book. I haven't put anything cute on here yet. I kind of just stole a homeschool binder I wasn't using. And I've been printing out some ones that I know are good, some ones that I try that are good. You know, I put the tabs in just like, not necessarily the way that Trim Healthy Mama split their cat, but just what made sense to me. No, I'm not gonna lie. What made sense to Brianna Thomas, because I just used her categories. She has one that's a fuel pull coffee. I think I did I did. I'm gonna put it right here. I did a video review of her iced coffee. So I'm gonna make sure I have my ingredients out. Big help. So I'm printing them in here. And then I'm putting them in, and I put them in page protectors just because I'm sloppy. And I bought the page protectors bulk. But I'm just going through and I'm putting all my recipes in here. So this is how I'm planning to get back on it and eating every 3 hours. And I'm going to plan my meals out. Even though that's kind of not intuitive for me, I like to have options. I'm just going to have to give up options right now and go on autopilot for eating and setting my timer to eat. And I don't have to exercise. Now, when I do Trim Healthy Mama, I don't actually even get on the scale. I'm going to get on the scale before I start on Monday. But I'm not going to get on the scale again, maybe for a month. But I'm going to measure myself. Because let me tell you, when I do Trim Healthy Mama, I never lose weight. So maybe this time I will, because I'm going to do it better. But I am going to measure myself because that's where the proof is. I typically always lose inches and I firm up. And here lately, as I've been struggling this last month of being exhausted and making sure I am eating right, and as I've lost weight, I'm getting really flabby. Yeah, I'm getting pretty flabby. And that's not cool. You don't want to be skinny fat. And I mean, I do have good muscles. I love my muscles. But I don't know if you noticed, I'm losing that definition I had just a little bit ago. I haven't been eating the protein like I should. I'm pretty embarrassed. I'm getting flabby. I haven't changed weight. So apparently I'm not eating my protein like I should. And the cool part is my Premier Protein throws me into a fuel pole. Very good. I can eat that with an apple. I can eat it with fruit. I mean, have one a day and I'm good. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. But I've been kind of noticing that in my arms. But I'm thinking, so there you go. That's what I'm doing. Wellness Wednesday. Getting ready to hit it hard on Trim Healthy Mama. And then it should be a lot of fun. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you got any meal ideas, if you've done any meal planning out, or if you got a good website. Let me know. All right, there's my cone head. There's my cone head. Ain't nothing I can do. I do not have a head for headbands. I got to go find me some hats. I went to the Dollar General. Why did I not get a hat? I said I was. I got this. I know these don't work. All right, anyways, I will talk to you later. Peace out.